Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in a very rainy Kansas City, Missouri at venerable Arrowhead Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action. Now Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A first carry now. This is Williams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. He may try and run for this. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. And obviously they want that run yardage, so they decline the penalty.
No doubt about it. Smart on their part. They finished off the play. But if you're going to jump, if you're going to commit a penalty, it's your job to finish off the play so you don't give up big gains like that.
Mahomes dropping one to Williams here. Williams loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And I think we're all eager to see how this offense responds because we know this is a big spot. National TV game to start the season. The whole league and the whole country watching this one. Last year, though, the Packers, the Bears, neither one of them did a whole lot offensively. A 10-3 final. Let's see if the defenses exert their will early in this one.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Block now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack. On 3rd and long, it's Lock. Complete to Jason Witten. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Here's Locke. Making the catch, it's Winfrey. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. This is 3rd and goal, this Chiefs defense. They're giving it all they got. They'll try to run with Lindsay. And for the 3rd straight play, he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And the 13-year man puts it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Mahomes looks to throw on third down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point good by Prater. And that makes our score 17-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Fielded just inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They go play fake. Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lock. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Locke to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Go now, 30 base.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first, now this from 43. Prater's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Some of the best games of the weekend come in that 1 o'clock Eastern window, one of which features the Panthers at home in Carolina, as they'll be forced to reckon with the Atlanta Falcons. Out on the West Coast, more good stuff in the late afternoon, as we'll be watching the one down in Carson, where it'll be the Chargers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And finally, a good one scheduled for Monday Night Football between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing now is Locke. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. 23 yards the pickup there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. Swift, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. 6-6. Pull it high.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Lock. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Lock. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 40-yard line. That's the end.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Watch tight, tight is right. Watch tight, tight is right. Everyone's right.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Bring it. Bring it.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He's got his man. It's Williams. Williams loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Back onto the field trots Jason Witten now. And as we look at his highlights, you know, sometimes I've asked you schematically, how do you stop one player? Well, how do you stop a tight end like this without opening up other holes, partner?
You show your basic defenses, whether you're playing the 3-deep zone, the 2-deep zone, but you have your variations underneath it. So sometimes instead of the safety staying deep, the safety will drop down. A sky coverage, they call that. Sometimes the corner's responsible. You get a little, what they call a cloud, someone coming underneath. Sometimes the linebacker shows the ability to rush the passer and instead drops down and tries to get underneath the tight end as he tries to run routes. So many different things you can do from basic sets.
Trying to prevent those highlights we saw. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Freeman again. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw it is Locke. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking again for Kelsey there on that play, and now it's 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes us forward for about 6. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Here we go. 8-3.
Hey, D-back, let's go. Pick it up, D. Check.
Get it.
On 2nd down and 4. Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They look to throw. It's Locke. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket up?
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Hurry.
Throwing again on second down. Lock. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And now here comes Kansas City. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now left side on the swing pass. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards that time. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. Got his man. It's Williams. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's third and 3. Mahomes to throw once more. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. That escapes the set, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. After the sack on first down, Mahomes complete, the tight end Kelsey. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 12-yard line. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Denver, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. That'll do it for